Well, I actually had no plans to release another boilie. If you look at the history of Baitworks, we've got 3 baits in the range, and that's over nearly 15 years now. And if I can't better something, I see it pointless in bringing out a new bait just for the sake of bringing out a new bait. I think in today's market there's so many carp baits, lots and lots of different options, varieties, and it must be so confusing for the end user to make any sort of decision on bait. So I've tried to simplify things at Baitworks, and we've got 3 very attractive, nutritious baits that are going to catch absolutely fish, and they have done, and that's been proven over a 15-year period. But every now and again I'm always thinking about other ingredients and different lines, and I get loads and loads of ingredients sent through the post and samples from all over the world, and some of those samples get good reactions like you'd expect. Some of them on paper look amazing and don't perform well in the first initial tank tests, but every now and again you get something special through the post, and you think, wow, the reactions I've just seen backed up with these scientific sort of papers leads me down a path that I've never been down before, but it's hugely interesting, and there's a whole array of attractive ingredients there ready to be explored. And that led me to firstly come out with a liquid, and then that very quickly my thought process turned into making a boilie range. So fast forward 3 years now to when I initially had these samples through, and it's evolved over those 3 years. First of all, it's just a liquid I was putting together, and I was giving that to a few guys who were catching plenty of fish, and again the reactions I was getting from the tank fish were exceptional. And then it quickly moved into a boilie form. Now, trying to fuse all these ingredients together to make a boilie is a long process, but over time then I've started to add in other core ingredients as well that not only helps the penetration of water, but obviously it's very soluble as well. So that's a really key point for the bait, is to make it soluble, goes through the fish very quickly, ultra digestible, but absolutely hugely attractive. And that was the birth of the CreAmino. Well, in many ways I'm my own worst enemy, because I obsess over the bait in terms of getting it to perform exactly how I want it, and this means I've got many test batches. I've gone through a whole long and painful process to get it where it needs to be, and that's in terms of how it breaks down, solubility. So on and off over the last 3 years I've been using various different batches and catching plenty of carp, and then been giving some of these batches to some of the guys in and around Baitworks. The likes of Elliot Gray's been using it over the winter, and he's catching plenty of fish next door. Mike Holly, who's caught a load of big ones this year, and giving out to sort of Jake Taylor and Simon Scott and a few other guys around the Baitworks team, just to get some feedback on how the bait is performing, taste, texture, smell, solubility, all the usual sort of things. So what makes this bait so special? Well, I'll run you through that right now. So when you open the bag, you're immediately hit with a sweet, creamy aroma that is not coming from a flavour profile per se, it's coming from ingredients. And these ingredients are feeding triggers and have been shown and proven to evoke a really aggressive response. Now, looking at the bait as well, you'll notice it's a open texture. That's absolutely paramount. Everything we do at Baitworks, we believe in the water penetration has to come in, and there are some ingredients we can utilise to do that. A typical one, for example, would be seaweed meal, very hydrotropic, sucks in the water. If water comes in, we need that exchange to diffuse all the liquids and flavours and the soluble aspects of the bait to diffuse out. Hugely important. And also, those who taste the bait as well will get a lovely spicy hit, a real spicy note, and that's massively important to move the bait through the transit line of the carp. We don't want something that's going to sit and be uncomfortable, particularly in any time of the year, but particularly in the winter months. So this is a bait that will go through the carp very quickly and cause no issue in blocking any of the transit line. It's in and it's out, exactly what you want. One key feature about this bait is we don't actually use any eggs at all within this product. So I'm using other ingredients to bind and fuse the products together. With eggs, you tend to bring in a fat content with the yolk. I didn't want that. So this bait is a step away from the traditional egg products. Also, we're using the protein source being derived from dairy products, so unlike some of the other baits where we're using marine, this one's a nice dairy, and that's why it comes out a naturally sort of light beige colour. So there you have it, the CreAmino. You can use it all year round, super soluble and incredibly attractive. This is destined to be another Baitworks classic.